Up until now, if you wanted to deploy your models onto ARM silicon, you've had to go through a very fragmented toolchain. Well, no longer. Today, we're at the Model Nova booth, an Embed UR company at Embedded World 2026, to find out more about their new and improved Fusion Studio. John, great to meet you. What do you do at Model Nova?
Hi, I'm the Vice President of Technology at Model Nova, and what I'm showing here is the Fusion Studio demo. That is a product that we've created. That's the first end-to-end development platform for the ARM U85 executive torch pipeline running on the Alif E8 platform.
And so you're saying the first end-to-end tool chain to deploy this. So previously, if I were to deploy a model onto ARM using executive torch, what would the approach be?
You would have to go and bring up the executive torch on ARM. You would have to basically bring a PyTorch model and convert it into executive torch yourself. You'd have to do the training for that. You'd have to piece together a whole bunch of different things. And then to combine that onto the Alif board is a step that ARM has recently done to kind of get that working from the hardware perspective.
So it sounds quite fragmented.
It's been very fragmented until recently.
And so Model Nova is the idea that you're aggregating everything into a very simple to use pipeline.
Exactly. So the whole idea is we want to make this simple, no code, have it be like click buttons, drag in your images, collect your data, train your model, and then deploy it to the device with a couple of
Can you walk me through the UI here?
Yeah. So what we have here is our Fusion Studio. So right now we have the Alif E8 board is already running. And you can see that it's running a model here. And we're capturing live data from the board. So we've used the ARM SDS library to capture the video, capture the inference results from the model. And this is running a rock, paper, scissors demo. So we can actually test it live, capture the data, and see how well is the model actually running all within our tool.
And John, we actually have done a webinar together if you want to find out a little bit more information and go really in depth for how to train and deploy your own models using this tool. But tell me, what are some of the best use cases for this kind of software?
Yeah, so the best use cases are, you can think of these vision models as being very specific. So you can go out and get things that detect people, detect animals. But what if you wanted to detect a certain type of bottle that you're manufacturing and see if it's got an issue? So now somebody can take our tool, go collect a couple of samples of the bottles that they're manufacturing as an example, put them into our tool, retrain the model, hit a button, retrain the model, and all of a sudden the model will understand what they're trying to manufacture and be able to tell a user whether it's working or not. So there's a full ton of use cases where somebody wants to, or a company wants to create a model that can work for their specific use case.
And at the minute we deploy onto Alif, but are you vendor agnostic? How does that look?
Yeah, so Fusion Studio is vendor agnostic. We're adding more support. So we've partnered with ARM as well to kind of support the full ARM Ethos-U ecosystem. So Alif has U85, U55. We're supporting both of those. And we're building out that support across the entire ecosystem of ARM products.
So here you have effectively Model Nova, and is this like a SaaS application? How does it work?
Yeah. So this tool runs all local. So it runs on your laptop, on your desktop, on your Mac. And it allows you to do the training and the data collection and everything all local to your device. So it's not necessarily a SaaS product. Although we do have ways that in case you don't have enough resources on your PC, you can upload it to the cloud and let the cloud do the work.
Right. That's your differentiator, really, that all of this runs locally.
Exactly.
So then when it comes to things like security concerns, we don't have to think about that too hard.
That's right.
And so here we have it running locally on your application, but you can also do this in VS Code, can't you, on ARM systems? Should we go have a look?
Yep. Let's go.
So now we're over at the ARM booth, and I'm joined by Henrik and Matthias from Alif and ARM. So Matthias, a minute ago we saw Fusion Studio, and now we're seeing what looks to be the same demo on VS Code. So can you walk us through what I'm seeing here?
Yeah, sure. So what we got from Model Nova is basically the now an optimized model to run on an executor stack in our target. And what we present here is a typical CMSys project with a board support layer from Alif gotten into the project as a CMSys pack. And now also this layer with the model and the executor at runtime comes in the same CMSys way. So this is quite no touch for the developer. It's just integrated in his project, and he now can access the inference in his C code and and run super optimized model on this Alif microcontroller.
That's running right now.
It is running right now. You can see the live data coming from that board. So the camera now fetches the gestures. And what we additionally show that Model Nova also used to train is the SDS framework that was used to capture and validate throughout the whole process. And the SDS framework, an open source stack ARM developed for exactly that purpose, now is also shown here. We captured 2 data points in this particular example, one with the actual frame the model gets as an input. That will allow us later to create a new training set, replay it or validate with a already proven data set that our model performs well after retraining, and a confidence level of the actual model output. And yeah, by that we give a lot of visibility to the developer in his well-known environment in Visual Studio.
All within the Simsys environment that a lot of developers are already familiar with. So Henrik, bringing you in, this is deployed onto your new and shiny Ensemble E8 app kit. Why is that the perfect choice for this?
So in the same way that ARM is working on tools to make life easier for developers, we want to try to help by making evaluation platforms as easy to work with as possible, both for people that want to evaluate silicon from a hardware perspective and a software perspective. And the app kit is kind of the software side of that. They put a lot of features on those boards, displays, cameras, microphones, IMUs, things like that, so that you can capture data with the Alif device in the board, and then, of course, run AI models on that data. We do provide a number of pre-trained models in our SDK that can be used to kind of see how that works. The point of it really is to take those models out, put your models in, use tooling like this, to work with it, and very quickly be able to get started writing code, working on the application side of your development.
That's exactly what we're doing effectively with Model Nova. Awesome. And now, back to the Model Nova booth. So we've just seen that demo on the ARM ecosystem. Tell me, what's next for Fusion Studio?
So Fusion Studio has a long roadmap of features, AI enablement, adding new platforms, making the data sets much more user-friendly and easy to bring in from open source. So we have a long roadmap of dreams and ambitions that this tool is going to go through. And, we're happy to see what other ideas people have as we go along.
And so look, if I'm an engineer and I want to get started developing with Model Nova, with Visual Studio, what are my next steps? How do I get started?
Yeah, so you can go to modelnova.ai, and the product launch for Fusion Studio is in about a week. So yeah, just after Embedded World, come on down to our site and download the tool and tell us what you think.
Awesome. John, thank you very much for that overview. This is Model Nova, an Embed-UR company at Embedded World 2026. If you want to find out more information, there will be links in the description below. And as always, from us at ipXchange, stay disruptive.